Shani is a Maasai, and he is the director of Ma-Olen, the business entity that runs the five-star Shampole Eco Lodge, and a founder trustee of Shampole Community Trust. UNDP Prize winner 2006 winner in Kenya, thanks to Shani's leadership. Shani has over 13 years of experience, and his focus has been on community-based wildlife conservation. So I'm going to ask you a very basic question first. What is it to be a Maasai in the world today?
Interesting question. To be a Maasai in the world today, to me means a lot. For one, many cultures are crumbling because of so many other challenges: education, Western influence, religion. So many other challenges are eating away local cultures. Not just Maasai, but many other tribes. And so the Maasai are still trying to maintain their culture. They have done it for the last 4,000 years plus, but there are so many challenges, as I mentioned earlier on. And we are trying to remain Maasai in the 21st century. We are not pretending the world is not changing. It is changing. So how do we remain relevant, remain Maasai, but still move alongside the rest of the world? You go to school, you have a modern house, for instance. We really do not want to tell the Maasai to abandon their way of life and live like people in Bedford. No, but we're trying to tell them, hang on a second, look, things are happening. So how can you make sure you are in tandem with what is happening with the rest of the world, but still remain Maasai? That's for sure a big challenge. I come to New York myself, and I go back to the village. So, but how many Maasais will be able to come to New York and go back to the village? Big question, $1 million question. Most people come, whether they are Maasai or any other tribe in Kenya, and they stay in New York, they never go back. For me, I want to be able to come here, but still go back to that village. That is, striking that balance isn't that easy. But the Maasai are still trying to live on the land sustainably, wear the traditional wear, live on the land, in a good way, drink milk, drink blood, just remain who we are. But there are so many challenges, and I cannot tell you for sure whether the Maasai in 1900 is the same Maasai today, because there's so many things that are happening. But we are trying to stay in there.
So I would ask you, what does it mean to you to be a Maasai and to live in the world as it is now?
To me personally, I think I feel proud to be Maasai, because number one, the Maasai understands how to live on the land. When they cut a branch of a tree to build a house, they don't cut the whole tree. They select certain branches, because for centuries we have done that. And that kind of knowledge has been passed from one generation to another. And that will keep on going as long as these challenges do not interfere with that flow of information from one group to another. And so for me, I would want to continue being Maasai, because we live on the land that is very pristine, very scenic, non-polluted, no garbage, no traffic jam, fresh air, and you can live long. So why do you have to come to the city? The bustles and hassles of the city. You're stuck in the subway. There's Hurricane Sandy coming, so tomorrow they're gonna shut it down. In Shampole, there are no subways. You just walk, and you're healthy. So I want to remain Maasai if I can, and I hope I can. Given the fact that there's so many things that are happening at the same time.
So would you say first you're a Maasai? Do you consider yourself a Kenyan?
Yes, I am a Kenyan, but a Maasai of Maasai tribe or origin, because you also have Maasais in Tanzania. So I'm referring to the Maasai of Kenya in this particular case. So yes, I am Maasai of Kenya.
So I know you just arrived a few days ago, and I would like you to tell our listeners what message are you bringing us?
Yes, I did arrive for this meeting of conference Connecting for Change. I think I've had a number of speakers. I really got moved, really nice, very interesting conversations, discussions, workshops. But most importantly is there are those common fundamentals we all share, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Kenya, whether you are in Canada, whatever. And one of the things that really I want to take home and I want other people to appreciate and understand is that climate change is an issue, whether we believe in it or not, especially for those of us who are in Africa who are actually feeling the heat. Because if there's rain back in Kenya right now around my community area, it's extremely wet. When there's no rain, it's extremely dry. So there are extremities. So and in this, we need to do something, because if you're doing something that is catastrophic to the environment here, I would not say that is a problem for the Bedfordians. It's going to be a problem for the entire world. So if you can do something to correct that, I'll be happy home, because I know that will not harm or affect people back in Maasai land, whether it's in Kenya or Tanzania or some other place. You see, there are now problems everywhere. There's earthquakes, hurricanes, and everything else. So if all of us can do something at an individual level, forget about government or community, you as a person, what can you do to reverse this, the stuff that aggravate climate change? Do something if you can do something. That's my message to the listeners.
Beautiful. So what are you doing personally at the Eco Reserve to be caring about climate change?
One of the things I've done personally as a leader of that community and brought on board the rest of the community, that is 10,000 people, is number one, to be very frugal or use resources sparingly. If you're using water, don't use water as if water is available for everybody else, or water is not scarce. It's a scarce commodity. Somebody else might have in abundance, but it doesn't necessarily mean all of us would have, because now with extremities of weather, we are not sure or guaranteed we'll have rain the next season. So if you have that in the back of your mind, then use the resources sparingly, because you are talking about caring about tomorrow. If you are cutting a tree, don't cut a tree, cut one branch, leave the rest of the branches so that the tree could regrow, or the branch could regrow and be full again the way it was. If you are cutting grass or taking your animals to graze, don't graze as if there's no tomorrow. Graze, make sure you graze in a systematic manner, because that's what we do in Maasai land. You graze point A in a certain season, point B in another season, point C. So that systematic management of the pasture on the land and water means you are taking care of the environment, because you're not sure of the next rainy season, and that means you are using resources sparingly, and that's the word, sparingly. Whether you're opening water in a tap, if you're taking a glass, make sure after you take a glass, close the tap. Don't let the tap run until it runs out. So that's exactly what I've been doing myself, and I've been putting that message across to the rest of the community, to use resources sparingly.
Do many Maasai people have television?
No, very few of them, if any, very few. Very few.
And to close our conversation, would you talk about your relationship with the cow?
With the what?
The cow.
Oh, the cow. Like cattle? Yes. The Maasai have a very special bond with the cow. The cow means everything to us. It means milk, it means meat, it means money. Actually, I like using this analogy. It's like your ATM. It's like your bank account. Bank account is the word, bank account. So when you want to do something, even if the bank is closed, you use your ATM to access your money. So we access everything through the cow, whether we want to buy food or buy clothes or pay medical bills or pay school fees. the cow has everything for us. So the Maasai for many years has this very strong bond between us and the cow. And I think for many years to come, we will still have. So imagine right now, we have done 4,000 years plus. We still have more. I mean, that's a long period to have a relationship and not even falter. So I'm sure it's going to be stronger because the Maasai, yes, are thinking of other ways to diversify the resource base, but it does not necessarily mean we are abandoning the cow. The cow still is a central focus of our life.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure. Welcome.